So this is just opinions that don't matter to me. But yeah, the game's coming along well. We've heard that for the last couple of years, and we don't really know where it stands in the current the current timeline, because right now all feelings is that this game's probably not coming until 2029. I think that's the expectation everybody has. But again, the vibe surrounding this just not well. Like, we can have these little PR safe answers. We've had them from Todd, now we have it from Xbox management. But you have to talk about the elephant in the room, and it's just the news that we've had the last couple of years. And it's like the Elder Scrolls lore master Kurt Coleman left the company earlier this year and blasted them. He had a lot of thoughts about what's going on behind the scenes, the bureaucracy, broken promises, and Todd Howard. I think this was an interview done with PC Gamer. I have a dedicated video on it. Highly recommend the watch if you haven't. It was just one of those things that we heard a lot of reactions from, Integral, former Bethesda developers that spoke about massive concerns with Coleman no longer at the studio, as he was an integral voice with the Elder Scrolls. He was viewed as one of the most notable individuals that came up with so much of the lore that people love to this day. Michael Kirkbride, a former developer, really was angry when Coleman left. And this is just one of those things, another aspect of concern that has been talked endlessly about. And right now, just so much skepticism in the air, and Bethesda could do something about that if they had something to show, but I guess they don't. But on that note, we've heard from more Bethesda developers that continue to voice their skepticism with the Elder Scrolls 6. This is a couple of them. This is from Kiwi Talks, in which he highlights how a lot of them are worried about Todd Howard just being stretched too thin. He's doing so many other projects, and he's really not paying attention to the Elder Scrolls 6. This is specifically what they said.
The Toddification of these things happened where, you have one guy, Todd Howard, who's kind of really manning the ship and talking to everybody and doing all the things, and the higher he gets, the more he's just not connected, and the center ceases to hold.
That is a problem. That is a massive problem, because Todd Howard, he is the main Bethesda voice. Everybody looks to him. That yes men culture, it is a problem, but that is how Bethesda operates. And if Todd Howard's not, giving 150% on this project, I have extreme concerns that this is going to end up like another Starfield. And I know a lot of people are going to comment below it's inevitable that it's going to be like that, but like I said, maybe it's just some of the hopium inside of me that it doesn't end up like that and this game actually ends up being worth it. But again, just constant bad vibes associated with this game. This was an interview done just a couple of weeks ago from Kiwi Talks. It's an extensive one, but very eye-opening. But we also heard from an ex-Bethesda executive, Pete Hines, who said the Elder Scrolls 6 maker isn't part of something genuine or authentic at Microsoft. He left the company around 2023, and he has been very vocal about his disdain for Microsoft and how they've gone about their management of Bethesda. He just really does not like how all of this went down. It kind of shifts a lot of the issues with Bethesda as, the overall publisher, Bethesda Softworks, onto Microsoft, but I think we all know that this started many years before that. Regardless, though, he's also very down on modern Bethesda. He said in an April interview, "I was staying there because this place still needs me. I just hit a point of, yes, it needs me, and I am powerless to do what I think needs to be done to run this place properly, to protect these people, to maintain what we worked so hard to create, which is an incredibly efficient, well-run video game developer and publisher." He continues, "And when I was unable to do that, I thought my job should involve in continuing to have that place be, if not the most efficient publisher in the gaming industry, it was way the F up there. And when I couldn't protect it and I saw how it was getting damaged and broken apart and frankly mistreated, abused, whatever word you want to use, I said I am not going to sit here and watch this happen right in front of me." So he left the company around 2023. Infamously, I believe Redfall launched right afterwards, and yeah, Bethesda as a publisher, just some big misses lately. Hines did continue, saying the worst part of his career was to join a place that I genuinely was a fan of and people there I genuinely held in high regard and esteem, and then to get there and see how it actually worked. And this is always the big concern with Bethesda going under the Microsoft umbrella, was that you're dealing with a $1 trillion company that does not care about this studio at all. They care about the money, the dollars. And as the Xbox division continues to be embroiled in chaos, they are looking at Bethesda. They are looking at those numbers, and they want money to be produced. So the entertainment side of all of that, maybe that worked a little bit better when they were a private company. But when you're under that $1 trillion company, it's just things operate different. This is what everybody said was going to happen, and here we are. Hines did finish off saying, "That's not to say everything Bethesda said we did. Yeah, we probably didn't fucking come close to that, but that was absolutely our intention. We're going to do what we say, and yes, we do, and be genuine and be authentic. And truthfully, I still think Bethesda is just part of something that is not authentic and is not genuine, and that shouldn't be a surprise to you." It isn't a surprise. I don't think it is, because the vibes surrounding Bethesda definitely have changed a lot in the last decade or so, I would say. But ultimately, all eyes are on the Elder Scrolls 6. That is probably going to be the most highly anticipated game after this year. And I think the skepticism surrounding this project is at an all-time high, and Bethesda is doing nothing to really change minds. If anything, the news coming out surrounding Bethesda has only been worse. We talked about it last video, but the ports and such continue to be a disaster. Bethesda has shown no inclination of being able to launch a game in a fine state and not have things just totally broken. But look, they are working on other projects other than the Elder Scrolls 6. There's Fallout Remaster supposedly on the way. Supposedly the next Fallout Remaster is going to be targeting 2027, and then Elder Scrolls 6 is possibly coming 2028 or 2029. This according to Windows Central reporter Jez Corden, who said, "I heard was that Fallout remasters are probably a little bit further off than people think, and that Elder Scrolls 6 is still quite far away." 2029, that sounds about right. Will that be enough time to get the Elder Scrolls 6 in a state that is acceptable and people fall in love with? I don't know. The people that are involved in this project, I just don't know if they have the talent to muster up to what everybody expects from RPGs these days, especially those that have so much anticipation behind them. And it's not like the Elder Scrolls 6 is launching in an environment that is what it was years ago. You're going to be going up against the likes of The Witcher 4 and maybe even Divinity coming from Larian Studios, and those are going to be some behemoth RPGs. And yes, people will compare. People always compare because standards are always changing, and Bethesda just, I don't think they realize that. But news the other day indicated that Microsoft is fast-tracking new Fallout and Elder Scrolls games. Maybe non-Bethesda studios could be working on these franchises in the future. Wouldn't that be interesting? But ultimately, that just lands in the hypothetical area, because Microsoft loves to say a lot of things and then nothing comes to fruition. And even if we did get some new games outside of BGS, probably 5, 6, 7 years down the road. So yeah, we'll be waiting no matter what. Anyway, we'll continue talking about the Elder Scrolls 6. I still have a little bit of hopium in me. I always will, because I just absolutely love this franchise, even if Bethesda has really done a disservice to the gaming community, and that can be also said with the Fallout community. But what are your opinions on the Elder Scrolls 6 and the fact that we heard nothing really this summer? Let me know your thoughts on all of that down in the comment section below. But thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video, or if you found any informative value. Consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.
You know the worst thing about Crazy Nikki and the movie Obsession? That when she's, possessed by a demon or whatever, the guy tries to stay with her, tries to make it work. I mean, no, not him technically in the movie. He's like immediately like thinking about dumping her. He's like, he doesn't want to come home. He wants to like go hang with his friends. He's afraid of her. So he's kind of an asshole actually. But what I meant to say was us, the viewers, that is the worst thing. Most of us say that we will try to make it work. We're kind of, you know what? I can fix her. And that's a good thing. It shows that we men, you can be, you can have mental illnesses, you can have depression, you can be crippled as a woman, and we will be like, you know what? I want to make it work. So we are better than Bear in the movie. We men, what the movie says about all of us men is our reaction is like, you know what? I know she's like getting crazy and dangerous, but I want to give her a chance. I want to fix her. I want to like love this woman and heal her, clean her up. Even when she's disgusting, even when she's like peeing herself and she's fucking barfing all over her titties, we're like, you know what? Not, not I care so much about having a pillow, a sex pillow with her boobies and her, ass. I wanna live with her, right? Because if we men were so awful, if we men were so awful, we would just care about having some boobies and an ass, having like a sex pillow, right? So we would just like take advantage of her, keep like pumping her, and then when she's too dirty because she's barfing and puking all over herself, we will just fucking throw her in the trash somewhere. We'll just like take her on a ride, throw her in the forest, in some cliff, and but we are not like that, are we? What we're saying is we're not making jokes about killing her. We're not making jokes about let's rape her and dump her on a cliff. Whoa! All of us, unanimously, unanimously, all of us online, 4chan, whatever, we're saying in the comments, um, I would like, I would care for her. I would not dump her. I would like make her work. You know. So you really have to see like just how good we guys are. It really shows that women truly are the problem. Now, usually I say, oh, both men and women are bullshit nowadays. So, normies are horrible. It's like, no, turns out women are like significantly worse. Let me pop up in a cold one energy drink. Turns out women are actually to blame. And we talk about it too much because we're doing we're doing a philosophical evaluation. Let's do a test. Let's say let's do an evaluation, right? Show it all. We're not doing hate speech. Now remember when the Prepared Mind had a channel, Big John, and he was making these MG Tao. What was his MG Tao channel called? MG Tao is wife or something like that. He got deleted from YouTube, and that was like in the old days when YouTube was still like pretending to be like free and stuff. They deleted him because he was complaining about his divorce and he was just calling women, bitches and stuff. And he was hating on them. Now, I'm not like going like hardcore hate, but still if I say, wow, women are kind of, they seem to actually be somewhat to blame for everything. My channel can get deleted for hate speech, but I'm just like, as a scientist, doing an evaluation to be like, okay, let's look at the statistics. And it's like, if the statistics say that men are significantly, like 90% willing to, young men are willing to keep dating and caring for a damaged woman that's like mentally ill, and the sex is not worth it, the drama and the trauma, right? So at that point, you would be sticking with her not because you want to touch some boobs and some ass and the sex is worth it. No, the sex would not be worth it. Getting to touch her boobies and her ass would not be worth it when she's like drooling and screaming at you and possibly, could kill you in your sleep. You choosing to stay with her, you really must be like a nice guy who like wants to, to have this woman just like how you would have like a dog or a cat, even if they like pee and shit, right? You'd still be like, you know what? I love you. I'm not gonna like throw you off a cliff, right? Even if you make my chair smell like piss, it's like, you know what? You did a bad thing, but you know what? I'm not gonna like throw you away, right? So, and anonymously, we the younger guys and millennials, we're now like grown ass men pretty much. We're getting old. I'm 38. Fucking hell. My car still has a parasitic drain. Okay. I removed all the connectors under the seats. I unplugged everything under the seats. I unplugged everything. Okay. And there's still a parasitic drain. It's my battery still lost some charge tonight. It's like, dude, okay. Where is there's supposed to be a resistor. There's supposed to be a resistor. The resistor is supposed to be the one thing that fails, baby. Where is it? Maybe it's this thing or not. I gotta be sure. What is this thing? I mean, it's supposed to be the resistor for the fan. So if I unplug it, it should stop working, right? So, I'm gonna have to ask the computer where the resistor is. They say if you unplug it. Also, isn't there supposed to be a lamp in here? I'm not seeing a lamp, guys. Where is the lamp? There's another connector in here. Okay. Well, I think that might be the resistor. We'll see. So, some guy on YouTube said yesterday that sometimes the resistor of the blower motor fails and they start like parasitic drain. So if you unplug the resistor of the blower motor, when you drive the car, it's not gonna like blow air in you, right? The fan is not gonna work for the cabin, but it's gonna show you if your battery keeps draining. If the battery stops draining, it's gonna be the resistor for the blower fan burn out, right? Right. So we just gotta find out with the AI, get some pictures with the AI, and so you see, we men, when we're faced with a problem that was making us like suicide, when we're faced with this problem, we're like, I gotta keep going. I gotta like every day I'm gonna like disconnect a different thing. Yesterday, it was the seats. The last 6 months, it was like every fuse, every relay almost, right? The alt cable, the B plus cable. Now we're gonna check. We're gonna open this piece. We're gonna check the trunk watching, if there's any corrosion in the connectors. Here, this light, this tail light. Check these wires, connectors here. If something's wrong, any moisture. You see these two holes where water. We shouldn't be able to enter here, but who knows? If there's anything green, it means corrosion entered at some point. Any green on the connectors, guys, it means it got fucked by corrosion. So, it's funny because, that is the black pill that women get the ick. For the first small thing, they get the ick. They don't want to date you. They don't want to give you a chance. But you take care of a mentally ill, possessed woman that's like randomly screaming, randomly ruining your wife, probably is gonna kill you. And we're like, you know what? I love her. I mean, I want to give her a choice. I want to take care of her. Meanwhile, you go on a date and you're like, hey, Stacy, I torrent movies. I don't have Netflix. She's like, ew, he's giving me the ick. Ew. It's like you lose your job, and she's like, you lost your job? You don't have money? Temporarily? It's time for me to leave you. I'm not feeling it anymore. Sorry, I just don't feel it anymore. I need to get fucking chopped. It's like, imagine, okay, Stacy, let's say Stacy. Let's say Stacy, like you paid her medical school, right? Here, Stacy, I'm gonna sell my SUV to pay for your medical school degree, and so you start driving like some cucked small car. You buy some you buy like a small car, looking like a boy. And Stacy's like, thanks for paying for my medical degree, boyfriend, and but I just can't be seen driving in a small car with you because you sold your SUV to pay for my degree, and so I'm just not feeling it anymore. I'm just gonna go date some Chad. Now that you're driving a small car because you spend your money on me, I'm just gonna cheat on you with Tyrone. It's like, yeah, you wonder why all these 35, 37-year-old women, nobody wants them, because they are like that. It's not because, oh, they're so old and ugly. It's because they're like that. Okay? They go on one date and they complain like where the guy took them. Oh, he took me to a Waffle House. That's like, I wanted a restaurant. He took me to an ice cream place. I wanted a $200 bill in a restaurant for a first date. I don't like what he was drinking. It was cringe. And they're willing to just like complain and dump you, just like I don't like his haircut, right? So you're supposed to take care of her, spend money on vacations, and you're supposed to spend all these money, vacations, haircuts, restaurant bills. She wants to go to Disney, dude. And that the first little thing, she's mildly bored. The first little thing, she's 3 vacations per year, right? She gotta go skiing in the winter, every winter, bro, right? She's like, I'm mildly bored. I'm just not feeling it anymore. I'm just gonna dump you now. It's like, amazing. Thank you, Stacy. It would have been cheaper to go to a hooker. You think hookers are expensive? Well, if you spent $2,000 on a vacation this year, which is like very little, by the way, considering how expensive everything is nowadays, a vacation is probably $5,000. If you spend $2,000 on a vacation this year once, Well, a hooker is gonna be, let's say it's like $200. Let's say you go, let's say you go every 2 months once and you pay $200. Well, 6 by 200, 1,200, right? $1,000, 200. So you're still paying half of just the vacation, the cheap 2000 vacation that doesn't even make sense, right? So, um, where's my knife? It's always good to have a knife when people are nearby. It's always good. Because you never fucking know. So what was I talking about? I had a friend, not a friend, or a colleague. When I was working the capital, I have this colleague, and so in the capital he became a manager. They promoted him to be some kind of a manager, team lead, whatever. And right when he started dating a girl from his team, right? So it's like a cute girl. She's cute, right? She's hot. She's cute. She's dolled up. She's a they're flirting in the bus when we're going on a field trip. And it's okay, cool. And the guy, I've told you this story before, but let me tell you again for the new viewers. He had just spent like like was it $7,000 or was it like 13,000? Let's say he just spent $8,000 on getting like a newer Audi. He was getting some second-hand newer Audi because the Audi had some damage, so he was buying it cheaper, and then he had to pay for some engine repair. That's why the Audi was cheaper. He was gonna I'm gonna take it to the guy. I'm gonna spend $2,000 on engine repair, and I'm gonna make a good deal. That's like a newer Audi, dude. It's like a nice wagon. It's like 2013 Audi, right? And it's a good looking car. The Audi wagons were always pretty, looking like expensive. So he's like 8K, and that's in Bulgaria. That's where Bulgaria in fucking 10 years ago. It's like I'm starting a salary as a graphic designer in the capital. It's like $700. So monthly after taxes, monthly per month, you're getting $700, right? And everything is expensive. It's like food here is more expensive than Germany or England when you calculate the different currencies. It's actually more expensive. Okay, so a chocolate, we were getting like expensive salary in London. The chocolate is cheaper there than the chocolate in Lidl costs here. If you go to the same Lidl supermarket, right? So now, sure, the guy they make him a manager anyway. Yeah, but he's paying rent probably to live in the capital. But anyway, good salary. They make him a manager. He's like 8K on an Audi. This girl starts dating him. He gotta show himself that he's a ball player. He's a ball. It's like take her on a vacation. She wants to go to Spain, dude. Go on a vacation, dude. Oh, you're young and wild. Go on a vacation, dude. You got a hot girlfriend now. You're a manager. And this guy, he was like coming to the office with like nice, like the fancy jackets with like a pattern texture, like a cool wallpaper. Like it's a jacket, but it's like a mafioso. Like it's got like a cool color palette and like a texture pattern, right? So he's coming like looking like a Russian mobster, coming with a cool jacket to work, and it does look good, okay? And uh, so he takes her on vacation. They go to Spain for a week or two, and then that's like in the summer. He takes her on another vacation. I don't know if it was like 2 or 3 vacation, but it's like, and keep in mind, he was also taking her on restaurants. I doubt they were just eating at home. So he was also taking her to restaurants, right? Starts fucking giving money away, and it's like, um, it's like, what I'm saying is like a few months later, let's say 2 months later, I'm in the cafeteria, right? During work, 5-minute break, I'm in the cafeteria. And he's like talking to another guy. He's like, dude, we've been to Spain for 2 times this summer. We've been on a second time in Spain. The tickets alone were like $2,000. And keep in mind, we're getting Bulgarian salaries. We're not getting like crazy money. So he's not getting $3,000 per month after taxes. He's getting like, I don't know, 17, like 1.7 maybe he's getting per month. So the plane tickets alone were probably his salary for 1 month. Like, dude, we've been second time to Spain this month. My money is like, I'm ruined. And he was another time he was talking about the Audi, how it's like, oh shit, spend money on this, on that. um and so this guy, they've been dating for a few months. She already made him take her to Spain twice. In one summer, twice. You didn't go to Spain once, you went twice. And she's like a support. She's like tech support. Like it's like a Jewish gambling company, and she works as like, if a French person writes on the chat, hey, I lost all my money, how do I get my money? And she's like, hello sir, my name's Christine. And it's like Indian call center job. So basically her department is like the call center, and some angry customers who lost all their money in gambling is gonna call you, be like, how do I withdraw my money? Why did I lose my money? So she's a fucking call center, like a fucking Indian. It's like an outsourced job, right? Right. um. So her job, her job isn't exactly, let's go on a vacation to Spain twice. Let's go give our money to Spain, right? Because when I've applied to be a graphic designer in Spain, I don't remember a Spanish company ever hiring me. They're like, fuck you, buddy. Nobody wants you, buddy. But let me go give my money to Spain, even though they've never been like, hey, let's give you a job. Come live here. I fucking love it, man. I fucking love it. I had like one guy from Japan when I was on LinkedIn years ago. I had like some import from Japan actually like tried to talk to me. It was like, like interesting portfolio, but because you're not in Japan, so there's all these like, it's super hard to get you to work. But like, we're interested in your portfolio. Like, they would have called me if I wasn't like on the other side of the world. Okay. I need some peanuts. I need some peanuts. Okay. Um. Okay. So it's been a few months. She's already probably make him spend like $4,000. Yeah, he was saying how he's spending like crazy money. He's like, dude, she's making me spend crazy money, bro. And he's like devastated, right? Um, he's like, he's one of those guys where he always gotta look if you're fat or skinny. He's always gonna say some bullshit. You can't just like fucking keep his mouth shut. Um, and they're just like going around saying it to everyone, right? And he's like, hey, kiddo, got a little tummy, man. Hey, kiddo, you got a little tummy, man. You gotta lose weight. And it's not like a big deal. It's not, oh, you're actually being bullied or something. It's just like my annoying colleague, right? My annoying colleague who's getting annoyed. And you see him like, he's talking to the programmer. They talk to each other even more. And he's like, hey, Mitak, he's like, slapping his belly. He's like, hey, Mitak, you gotta lose weight, man. And he also had a belly. He's like, yeah, I'm starting soccer. I'm gonna play soccer. And it was working like the guy was actually losing his belly. But I was getting fat because I was waking up at like 5 a.m. to drive to the capital 3 days a week and back every day. Okay, so yeah, you're probably gonna get a little fat when you have to wake up at 4:50 3 days a week and then drive at like 4:30 p.m. drive back. And it's like the drive is like 1 hour, basically 1 hour and 20 minutes. Okay, so dude, nowadays with these diesel prices, you gotta be crazy. You gotta, okay. Back then, it was worth it to get like the experience and the money because it's an actual job. They actually want to hire you, and because the casino companies are in the capital, and in my fucking town, nobody wants to hire me. I would have died. I can't even get a car electrician client. These retards would they would die before they give me like $10 for anything that I would do like professionally. Okay, they would be neat. I told you that this fucking faggot retard that his blinkers don't work in the back. The cops put him and he won't like I told him like I would come like fix it, probably gonna be like super cheap, like 10-15 euro. And he like hangs up when I'm calling him, and I told him I'm gonna find the solution, find out what is it. Said the guy doesn't need me, bro. Right? And if he calls me again, I'm gonna, instead of like I was gonna fix it for 20 euro, I'm gonna fix it for 40 euro. Now it's gonna be 40 euro. Right? Oh man, I got too many clients now. I can maybe come help you, but it gotta charge you. I'm gonna have to say 40 euro, dude. paying the faggot retard tax. Okay. And that's still like what they would charge him at some places anyway. Probably even more. Because guess what? If you want to remove this part, you can see these two tabs. Now, immediately with my knife, I tried and I scraped one of them. So you need to have like the right plastic tool or something with some soft tissue on it so you don't scrape, and you need to pull gently, put something on this side and pull from here, and it's like you gotta know how to do it, and you have to have the right tool. If you just start jamming it, prying it with a knife, you're just going to fucking scrape everything, and it's gonna be permanent. Like there's no fixing it. When you scrape the plastic with a knife, then it's like a 1 hour plastic putty and repaint job. It's like, where are you gonna find this color? This shade of like gray beige. So you get the hint, okay? So if you pay some Bulgarian faggot retard to like replace your tail lights, he's gonna scrape everything. He's gonna jam some screwdrivers, scrape everything, like scrape your headlights, scrape the paint here, break something, and it's like, yeah, that's gonna be $50, right? Welcome to getting fucked. Anyway, the point of the video: the guy was dating her for a few months and said, okay, you're getting sex, dude. You're getting to have a girlfriend, and everybody's gonna see that you have a hot girlfriend and you're having sex, and it's like $5,000. Uh, you gotta go on vacations that you don't want to go, and you also gotta watch her because every guy is gonna be trying to flirt with her, and obviously when the girl is worth it, it's like fuck him, you're gonna watch her, but it's like stress, and I get it, but when she is, like Rhea Ripley, it's like, I want to go to the beach. I want to go where everybody's going. So like now she's around all the gopniks who would like try to flirt with her, and you gotta like fucking put in situations where you punch somebody and you get arrested, right? And they try to like to humiliate you. They try to like come flirt with her in front of you, right? They try, bro. They try. Maybe they'll steal her. The gopnik, they're very arrogant. They think they're gonna steal your girlfriend, dude, right? And um, like imagine you can have a woman that like she doesn't want to go to all the tourist traps, all the crowded beaches with where all the idiots hang, right? Maybe she wants to go like on a private beach, on like where it's like nobody's going. It's like quiet. There's no like people. You go to like some secluded beach spot where there's like it's like here, and you can actually have a picnic, have some drinks, eat, and it's like you just like chill. And She's not surrounded by 500 Bulgarian retards, right? Who are gonna be looking at her ass. It's just fucking uncomfortable, you know. Like, I'm sorry, but me as a guy, I'm like, you know, getting in shape, right? So I'm not saying I look like aesthetic, but like, considering how other 38-year-old Bulgarians look, I think I'm like fine. You might call me chubby, you might call me fat, which is fine, but comparing me to other 38-year-old Bulgarians, I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. Okay? I think I'm fine. So if I go to the beach, right? Do I want to go to a place full of like redneck Bulgarian women who are gonna like ogle me because, oh, for fuck's sake, can we stop the fucking noise? Fuck. Beepy beep. So, you know, you and me as a guy, do we want to go relax at a beach place full of redneck women, white trash women, you know, from Jersey, white trash redneck women who are, they're downtrodden now, they're looking for a guy who has a house, a guy, they want to take the money, they want to take the house, you know, they're looking for a, you know, your plan B. Okay, they got dumped by a chat and now they're looking for a simp. So you go on a beach surrounded by like 30-year-old women, and they're like loser women, they're like waitresses, they're like, you know, their hobbies are like music. What's your hobby, sweetheart? Music. I like music. Hey, can I date you and take your house away? You're the simp I'm ready to settle for now that I'm 30. So, would you choose to go on some beach, pool, whatever, where there's like loser women and they're ogling me, because even though I'm not like aesthetic, I'm still in better shape than the average Bulgarian who's 38. They're either fucking thin like a toothpick, or they're fucking beer gut. Okay, so it's like, bro, I get that you're trying to compare me to like aesthetic American boys and 20-year-olds on steroids, and I look like shit compared to them. Okay, but in the real world, if you don't have a beer gut at like 38, if you don't have a beer gut at 38, and you actually have some muscles, like you're walking around, you actually got some muscles, just like walking around like this. You actually got some muscles, and your chest is kind of fixed, like it's not total bitch tits, like it's kind of fixed. Okay, you're already like doing good. Okay, most 20-year-old boys here are fucking rail thin, they look sick, or they already have beer gut. So, and I have more muscle mass. So you know what? I'm not saying I'm like Jeff Side aesthetic, but you know, I'm for me, I'm in the best shape of my life, you know, for me, considering how like bad I looked before. So would I go to be ogled by women or like normie NPCs who I absolutely hate, you know, just like trash? Would I go like, hey girls, check me out, I kind of look better than the average Bulgarian guy? It's like, no, I don't want you looking at me. I think it's fucking disgusting. I'm not saying I'm like Brad Pitt, you know, just like chiseled, but like just because I hate them on a spiritual level, I don't want them fucking looking at me, thinking things about me, you know. I'm not saying that they're gonna like think about my body. Maybe they're thinking, oh, this guy has a house. Oh, this guy, he has a good job. He has a SUV. He has a house. I don't want them looking at me. So you can see, I choose every day to come in nature alone. I am away from the retards. I'm talking to you every day, every morning. I'm talking to my guys. And like, I'm not choosing to go like, let's go on a vacation, hang around all the retards on the beach. Let's just be like, every like 2 meters, they just like sit around all the retards. Every 2 meters, they just hang together. They just get into fights. Let's try looking at each other, women, and let's get into fights, right? So, but some bitch, maybe like Rhea Ripley, she chooses to walk around the beach in a fucking thong, showing her asshole. And Buddy has to be on steroids and walk around her because everybody wants to steal my girlfriend. You know, she's like, all the guys are looking at me. I'm a fucking whore. Right? And she just fucking, uh, and you know, the funniest thing, like, you know, she's trying to do it now she lost her ass. She lost the boobs. She lost her ass. She's like, she looks like a fucking twig. And she's still like trying to sweat around the beach. Like, hey, boys, look at me. It's like nobody's looking. She's like, oh, damn it. I'm going to do cartwheels now to make the boys look at me. Twelve like, now to make the boys That's your wife, dude. Enjoy. It's like, no, some men have wives or girlfriends. You know, my wife doesn't want us to go on a beach with all the retards where we can get in trouble and we gotta listen to fucking bullshit. My wife likes to be away from people just like me. She doesn't want to go on the beach with the retards. Okay? So I'm just saying, like, it's such a fucking hassle where you get like the wrong woman. It's like, guess what? When our guy was dating Crazy Nikki, she was like obsessed with him in front of the other guys. She was not letting other men flirt with her. She was like, no, I want my boyfriend. You know, some guy made a joke. He like, I'm gonna pull a chair to sit next to your girlfriend, and she got like angry. She like, like she immediately like fucking cucked him. Like, no, I have a boyfriend. Fuck off. And that's fucking amazing. That's fucking. Are you kidding me? That's fucking awesome, right? So you don't need to fucking be jealous and get angry and fucking have to fucking. She just fucking cuts them off like immediately. Like they have no chance. And um, you know, how do I explain it, dude? Man, this car. I'm so fucking sick of this car, dude. I'm so fucking sick of it. I am so fucking sick of this car, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. In the movie Crazy Nikki, oh, she is mentally ill. Oh, she pisses herself. You need to like wipe her off, and well, she doesn't want to go to the beach with all the fucking retards to hit on her, and she's not letting the retards hit on her, and she just wants to be with you. And say, okay, just like the cat, my cat wants to be with me and bite my hand every night. He wants to constantly be around me. Like, you don't see me like freaking out. You don't see me like throwing my cat off a cliff because he wants to be around me all the time. It's like, yeah, just my cat is all around me all the time, right? And in the same way with your girlfriend, with your wife, she may want to be next to you all the time, and that's fine because it's your wife. Okay, she's the one that's gonna lie to the police for you. That's what you want from a wife. A woman that's like always on your side, ride or die. That's what women say, ride or die. It's like, oh really? You're saying that you ride or die? Well, when your husband kills somebody, are you gonna lie to the police, or are you gonna be like, you killed somebody? I'm gonna betray you now. I'm a roasty. It's like, yeah, that's we want. If we have ride or die, like Crazy Nikki, we're actually gonna put in the effort. Unlike Bear, who was like being a total faggot about it. He's like, oh, I don't want to stay at home with Nikki. Oh, he's like not giving her enough attention. She's like freaking out. He's like, I want to go in the bathroom alone. She's like, let me in. It's like, let your girlfriend in the bathroom, dude. Can't you like pee next to her? She's seen you naked. She's seen your pee pee. It's like, just let her fucking look at you while you're taking a shit. Big fucking deal. And we were always like the Adams family. We never like adhere to like societal norms. Even when I was dating a horrible bitch years ago, we were like the Adams family. Sorry. So it's like when women find things weird and they immediately like want to dump you. Oh, you're giving me the ick. That's weird. That's creepy. I'm a fucking bitch. I need my head chopped off. It's like us guys, unlike Bear, we would be fascinated. We would be fascinated with Crazy Nikki, especially if she was possessed by an actual demon. We would be like, fuck yeah, let's make sure her soul is fully dead so we can let the demon take complete control. And we can like upgrade the body. We can be, you know what? Crazy Nikki, get some implants. She's like, yeah, I love you. You know, get some fat in the ass. Inject some fat in the ass. And she got like a loyal demon GF. Are you fucking kidding me? She's like killing people for it's bro. When she killed that bitch in the car, I'm like, bro, she's killing people, and she's like super calm. Like, okay, let's bury the body. I'm like, oh yeah, bro, that is true wolf. That is like immediately falling in the wolf. She just killed someone for you. She's a woman. She's the weaker one. She killed somebody, and her reaction is like, okay, let's bury the body. Don't freak out. We gotta bury the body. It's like immediately falling in the wolf. Are you fucking kidding me? You have a girlfriend that's like killing people for you. Like, bro, we would stick with her. We'd be like, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this work. I go visit when you like visit your grandma and you take care of her. You wipe her feet, you wipe her hands, and you're like, let me put some cream to because you fell and hit your arm. Let me give you some fruit syrup, so you kind of get some food, so you eat more, right? It's like, dude, um You're saying that you can't like temporarily take care of your girlfriend when she has depression. And keep in mind the movie is so scary because normally women act like this without being demonically possessed. Okay. And technically, it's not even a demonic possession. The girl should just has like a split personality. Okay. Um. Yeah. What more can I say? I hope you get the hint. Now I gotta go. I gotta go take care of some chores, inspect my car, find the mysterious parasitic drain, guys. Have a great day.
What?
The game.
Oh.
There's two left. You're supposed to kiss me.
What?
The game.
Oh.
I was true left. You were supposed to kiss me.
What?
The game.
All right. It's time for a reality check on this psycho who calls himself Vampire Kirill, or whatever the fuck his name is, aka Vampire Psycho, aka Fat Ass. Now, I mean, this guy's a big time stalker of some female wrestler who calls herself Rhea Ripley. I have no idea who that is. I stopped watching WWE 17 years ago. I mean, this guy, all his community posts are about her. I mean, this guy will post an hour-long post. I mean, first of all, ain't nobody gonna read that shit, man. I mean, he'll post a long-ass fucking community post thinking people are gonna read that shit. Ain't nobody gonna read that shit. And it's directly towards Rhea Ripley. I mean, this guy's a total psycho. And he's talking about that he just got suspension is up on Twitter so he could stalk her again. This guy's got some serious psychological issues. I mean, clearly he's got some mental health issues as well. The guy's a total psycho. I won't be surprised if this guy ends up in the news. Yeah, he's a psycho. I mean, just take a look at this picture here. I mean, he looks like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface. You know what I'm saying? The Canadian Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface. You know what I'm saying? This guy's a total psycho. I mean, the picture speaks for itself. I mean, he's just a creepy ass dude, man. I mean, it's no wonder Rhea Ripley blocked this guy on Twitter. The guy's a total psycho. Look, dude, you're obsessed with a chick that wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious she thinks you're a creepy ass dude if she blocked you on Twitter. You're a psycho, man. And this is called a reality check. Alright, look, you need to get back to reality. Alright, stop living in fantasy land, you fucking psycho. All right, it's time for a reality check on this psycho who calls himself Vampire Kirill, or whatever the fuck his name is, aka Vampire Psycho, aka Fat Ass. Now, I mean, this guy's a big time stalker of some female wrestler who calls herself Rhea Ripley. I have no idea who that is. I stopped watching WWE 17 years ago. But I mean, this guy, all his community posts are about her. I mean, this guy will post an hour-long post. I mean, who? First of all, ain't nobody gonna read that shit, man. I mean, he'll post a long-ass fucking media post thinking people are gonna read that shit. Ain't nobody gonna read that shit. And it's directly towards Rhea Ripley. I mean, this guy's a total psycho. And he's talking about that he just got suspensions up on Twitter so he could stalk her again. This guy's got some serious psychological issues. I mean, clearly he's got some mental health issues as well. The guy's a total psycho. I won't be surprised if this guy ends up in the news. Yeah, he's a psycho. I mean, just take a look at this picture here. I mean, he looks like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface. You know what I'm saying? The Canadian Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface. You know what I'm saying? This guy's a total psycho. I mean, the picture speaks for itself. I mean, he's just a creepy ass dude, man. I mean, it's no wonder Rhea Ripley blocked this guy on Twitter. The guy's a total psycho. Look, dude, you're obsessed with a chick that wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious she thinks you're a creepy ass dude if she blocked you on Twitter. You're a psycho, man. And this is called a reality check. All right, look, you need to get back to reality. All right, stop living in fantasy land, you fucking psycho.
There's nothing like getting a good crowd, a full theater, pair that with a great movie.
Obsession?
How'd you know? We just have this chemistry.
We do.
I can't speak for Nikki, but I thought about that, and I'm thinking, Bear's not like the ugliest guy.
He said.
But I think confidence is key, and I think because really I'm sorry to say I don't think they actually would have been good together, most likely. Maybe.
What did I do to freak you out? Tell me, darling. I really want to know.
Well, no spoilers, but yeah, there's one particular moment where I'd never seen you do the creepy smiley face because you wouldn't show me. I kept asking you, what are you gonna do? You're like, you'll see. You're like, you'll see. What's that little thing you do?
Oh yeah.
What did I do?
That little pop thing. You'll see. I don't know. I can't do it. Just don't look at me.
I lied to myself, telling myself that I was tired last night in order to actually make myself tired so I could sleep. Is that insane? Anyways. I remember you bringing in a protein shake and shaking it up.
Yeah.
And me thinking, this man works out.
Indy, how did you prepare for this role? And was there one unique or quirky thing that you did to tap into the creepy mode before filming?
No, it's inherently inside me.
It just pops out.
It just is there.
Effortless.
Can't say that. Wait, it does say it in the trailer.
I don't know what. I don't know. Please hold. No.
No, it's fine.
Go ahead.
All right, it's time for a reality check on this psycho who calls himself Vampire Kirill, or whatever the fuck his name is, a.k.a. Vampire Psycho, a.k.a. Fat Ass.
okay, which is scripted entertainment, okay? Like most things on TV, or pretty much everything on TV and everything. It's scripted entertainment, scripted sports, all right? This is basically what I talk about on a day-to-day basis, okay? So this isn't honestly too far from my wheelhouse. And I think that's the reason why, especially this year, I've been able to really notice a lot of different things, see a lot of different patterns, and et cetera, et cetera. All right. So I want to go ahead and jump into the main question of the video. What if this reality isn't random? Okay. What if everything, the news, the sports, politics, all right, even the dates, things happen, like certain days that things happen. What if these things are following a script written in numbers? Okay. Today, we're looking at the simulation theory through the lens of English language's own code, the 4 base ciphers. And we're going to explain why the same numbers keep popping up everywhere. Okay. Now, let's jump into it. So, there's been, there's a lot, like, there's a theory out there. Okay. There's a theory out there that says we live in a simulation. Okay. It's called the simulation theory. Okay. Now, the reason why a lot of people are starting to look at this and wake up to this, what this might be our reality, is because it kind of is. All right. And I'm going to explain. So you got Elon Musk, right? The world's first trillionaire, which, we can get to talking about probably not this video, but another video. We'll do something on that. Elon Musk, back in 2017, he even said that the odds that we live in the base reality is 1 in a billion, right? He said the odds are basically that we do live in a simulation-like system, okay? And there's a lot of different things that can go into this as well. I mean, we talk about things all the time like the Mandela effect, all right? How it's basically like, like Fruit of the Loom, right? Did the Fruit of the Loom logo have the cornucopia or did it not, right? Things like that. Or was the Berenstein Bears spelled Bernstein Bears or Berenstein Bears? You know what I'm saying? Like certain little small stuff like that, right? Deja vu is another one, okay? Anybody that's ever had deja vu, it's basically like you have a dream, okay? And then later on down the line in your life, you see the exact, situation unfold that you saw in your dream. Okay. These things, in different synchronicities too, that just seem far too fucking perfect. Okay. I mean, what did we just have in this most recent NBA finals? All right. We had the New York Knicks go up against the San Antonio Spurs in the finals. Now, to give a little context, because I'm gonna jump into the Knicks and the Spurs final in its own separate portion of this video, but just as something that we can grab onto, so you understand a little bit of what I'm talking about. You had the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. They went ahead and went against each other in the finals, and this finals was an exact reverse, okay, an exact repeated reverse of what happened in the 1999 finals, okay? Now, in the 1999 finals, the Spurs went on, they won the first 2 games away, okay? They lost the third game, and then they went on to close out the finals, winning the last 2 games, okay? The same exact thing happened this year. All right. And there's many other synchronicities too, right? Like, at least within the finals. And trust me, we're going to go down the line of all the different synchronicities that I've seen, including I'm going to give you guys my own personal, cipher that's not available on any of the Gematrinators, Gematria websites. It's not available in any of these places. I'm working on, a website so that way it can, or maybe I'll just, sell the idea to somebody else. But if you hear this from anybody else, they got it from your boy. All right. And that is what it is. Okay. So like I said, that's just one example. And then of course you got to think of, the number 9. Okay. Cause the number 9 is the number that equals completions. It's once you get to 9, you have to start over. Okay. You go back to 1 and then you add the second digits, right? And then you add the third digits, right? It's a cycle. It's a repeating cycle, but it always ends with the 9. Okay, so you got 2 plus 7, that equals 9. All right, and it's been 27 years since the the last time the Knicks and the Spurs were in the finals together. All right, also it's been 53 years since the Knicks have been in the finals, or since they had won the finals, right? 53, like Willis Reed, I believe. His name equals 53. All right, Willis Reed was 80 when he died, and this is the 80th NBA season, right? Trump just turned 80 this year. Okay, things like this, like these things are just far too perfect. Jalen Brunson won the 80th. The NCAA tournament, right? He won the 80th NCAA tournament in San Antonio. Then he wins the 80th NBA finals in San Antonio. Okay, like these are just things that are just far too perfect and too perfectly aligned to be simply a coincidence. And we're only talking about the NBA playoffs here, okay? We haven't even gotten into the news, the politics, right? The stock market. Yes, baby, the stock market, all right? And how they use these numbers on a day-to-day basis, okay, to basically write their script, okay? This is how they write their script, okay? So, I want to get into, now that we've kind of, gone through that, okay, I want to get into the 4 base ciphers, because plus and my plus 1, okay? Because the biggest clue just might be hiding in plain sight, right? In our language. All right. Now, the 4 base ciphers are very, very simple. Okay. You have English ordinal. Okay. You have the full reduction, reverse ordinal, and the reverse reduction. Okay. Now, the English ordinal, this is simple. It's A equals 1 through Z equals 26. All right. Right. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, all the way to Z equals 26. All right. Full reduction is the letters basically being reduced to single digits. All right. So you have A equals 1 to I equals 9, J equals 1 to R equals 9, S equals 1 to Z equals 8. Okay. Z equals 26, right? So, 2 plus 6 equals 8. All right. So that's where you get the full reduction from. The reverse ordinal is the alphabet flipped. All right. It's just flipped. All right. So now instead of Z equals 26 and A equals 1, now we have A equals 26 and Z equals 1. And then the reverse reduction is basically the same, flipped as the full reduction. All right. So you got Z equals 1 when A equals 8. And then, we kind of go down the line from there. All right. Now, these 4 ciphers appear in every single decode community that you're going to find. All right. Everybody that does gematria decoding, they start with these 4 ciphers. And the reason why is because these are the main ciphers. Okay. They use other ones, the Chaldean, keypad, serpentary, the Sumerian cipher, all these different ciphers that, they use them. They use them. Okay. But these are the main ciphers. Okay. And then we have, the Emerson code. All right. Now, before I get into the Emerson code, which is my own cipher, all right, let's go ahead and talk about a couple of the things that we see here. Okay. So like I said, ordinal, the reverse, we got these 4 base ciphers. Okay. Let's talk about a couple of things that happened in the news recently. Okay. You had a 44-year-old man outside of the New York Knicks. Okay. We're going to stay with the sports for right now. Okay. A 44-year-old man outside of the Knicks stadium after they win the game. He was shot. All right. Now, killing equals, it was kill, excuse me. Kill equals 44 in ordinal. Okay. So the base ordinal, kill equals 44. Okay. I believe shooting also equals 44. Yep, equals 44 in the reduction. All right, things like this, and this is all over the place. Okay, how many people have you seen in the news that have died at the age of 38? Okay, famous people died at the age of 38 when murder, right, equals 83 and 38 in the reverse reduction. Trump, the name Trump equals 47. All right, in the reverse. Right. And he just so happens to be just so happens to be the 47th president. Right. Things like this. These things happen far too often for it to be a coincidence. And now that I've explained it to you, all right, now that I've explained it to you, you're going to start seeing it. All right, you're going to start seeing it more, because now you'll be able to know. Another big number that they're using right now, especially throughout the summer, because the World Cup and the NBA Finals, they were, sponsored by like Google and Amazon Prime. Okay, so another number you're going to be seeing a lot is 61. Okay, 61 is a big number this summer. I'm not exactly sure of the reasons. Okay, I'm not in these folks' head that are running this whole situation, but Google equals 61. All right, Amazon, or was it Prime? I think it's Prime. Yep, Prime, like Amazon Prime equals 61. Okay, and these are both in the ordinal. Okay, so things like that. These are big numbers this summer. All right. Can't explain to you exactly why, but it's just what the case is. All right. Now that I've given you a few examples, and you can go ahead and find many more examples on your own. Okay. But I don't want to get dragged down just into that. All right. Now, this is not conspiracy. This is just pattern recognition. All right. If we were in a simulation, the code would be embedded into the language itself. And that's exactly what we see. That's why we have even these gematria numbers, the A equals 1 through 20, Z equals 26. That's the only reason why our numbers in our language aligns with these numbers. Okay. Because this system would not work with any other alphabet other than the English language's alphabet. Okay. So let's go ahead, jump into the next kind of like talking point a little bit. Okay. So as I say, the news drops constantly. Oh, another example I can give like President Trump equals 180 and 81 in the reverse ordinal and reductions. All right. And then of course the Strait of Hormuz right after, I believe it was, I'm trying to remember the exact day it was of the war, but the Strait of Hormuz, it opened up on the 18th of June. And not only does June equal 18th, the Emerson code equals 18 as well, or 9. Okay. And now it's about time that I explain to you what the Emerson code is. Okay. So the Emerson code is very simple. The Emerson code takes the 4 base ciphers and it reduces them down to their most basic value. All right. Their simplest numeric value. All right. Now, what do I mean by this? Okay. Let's take the name Emerson, for example. Okay. Now, this was the name that I was looking up when I found this specific information. Okay. Because I started noticing it before this, but this is when I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely it. Okay. Now, the guy's name was Emerson. Okay. He's a pitcher or a bat. I don't remember. Okay. Something like that. But he's in the MLB. Okay. He's in the baseball league. All right. Now, Emerson equals 89 in the ordinal, 35 in the reduction, 100 in the reverse, and 37 in the reverse reduction. Now, what I noticed here is that these numbers, they, when you reduce them down, right? 8 plus 9 equals 17. 1 plus 7 equals 8, right? 3 plus 5 equals 8. All right. 100, obviously 1 plus 0, 0 equals 8, or equals 1, excuse me. And then 3 plus 7 equals 1, or 10, 1 plus 0 equals 1. Okay. And that is how you do the Emerson cipher. Okay. Now, when you do these, when you line these guys up, what you'll see is every single name, day, place that you write out and that you spell out in the English alphabet lives in one of these 9 families. So like I said, Emerson, he has the code of 8811. Okay. And don't just say, oh, that's just, because this equals 9, right? 8 plus 1 equals 9. And it's like that all the way down the Emerson code. So in all the Emerson or in all the codes, it's basically 1188, 8811, 2277, 7722, 3366, 6633, 5544, 4455. And then we have the 9s. Okay, the 9999. Okay, there's people like Nick Fuentes. Fuentes, his last name equals 9999. Now, Fuentes equals 27 in, I believe it's the reduction. All right, the simple reduction. So, isn't it kind of strange, kind of funny that in his 27th year of life, he starts to get all of this extra, he starts to get basically all this extra attention. Okay, his last name equals 27. Then all of a sudden, once he turns 27, he starts to get all this attention. I don't think that that's, an accident, basically. Okay, but his last name equals 9999, right? And that was just an example that I gave. Okay, so that's how you break down what the Emerson cipher is. Okay, this is something that you can use to further look into, how this whole thing is scripted. So I'm going to give you the perfect example. All right. And this is going to also tie back to the NBA finals, but I'll also tie it into UFC Freedom 250, the most recent UFC event at the White House. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. San Antonio. The Emerson code of San Antonio is 5544. Okay. We are in the year 2026. You write out the number 2026, okay? The full number 2026, it equals 5544. Okay? The finals were in the month of June, okay? June equals 5544. When you put in the name Knicks into the Emerson code, okay? You run that through the Emerson code. Knicks equals 4455. Now you may be wondering, that's kind of strange, right? Like, why? Okay, so it seems like San Antonio lined up perfectly with all these numbers, and somehow the reverse of those numbers is the thing that won. Now, I want to explain to you exactly why this is. It's because our tiny human brains, when we first see something like this, we're like, oh, or when we see like, oh, this guy, these people, they match up perfectly with the day, right? Perfectly with the month, perfectly with the year. They must be winning, okay? But then they're going up against the reverse of themselves, okay? The 44-55 against the 55-44, all right? And then what you see is the 44-55 wins out, beats out the 55-44. And you're like, how does this happen, okay? That's because it's not about the inversion. It's not about shit like that, all right? Don't listen to any of these other fucks. I'm going to give you the truth, all right? It's not about inversion. It's about completion. As I said, the number 9 is completion, okay? If a team is, relegated to the 5544 code, right? If they're relegated to that code, then what you're going to see is the team that mirrors them or reverses them, when you add 4455 and then you put beneath it 5544 and you add up all those numbers, it's going to equal 9999. It's not about the inversion specifically. It's about how the numbers complete each other. Okay? That's what it's really about. Okay? And even when you go to UFC Freedom 250, I believe Josh Hokett, the guy who made the Michelle is a man joke, all right, which if you're mad about, Michelle Obama, being called a man, remember, Barbara Bush was a man too. Okay, like let's go ahead, strip back, strip back this coding, all right. Barbara Bush was a man too. All right, I'm not completely convinced that Melania is a woman, or at least this current version of Melania, because we know there's body doubles and all this other shit, People get cloned all the time, and when I say cloned, I don't mean, people are down in the lab no, that's not what I'm talking about, okay? I'm talking about people who wear hyper-realistic masks and you can look this up. Hyper-realistic masks exist. They were created by the CIA back in like the 50s or 60s, all right? So people, they can use these hyper-realistic masks to go out and play the part of somebody on the world stage. Okay? This happens often. All right? One of the most recent examples of this, all right, because I just love how perfectly it lines up, okay? A few weeks before this, we had the Jim Carrey debacle where Jim Carrey came out, didn't look anything like Jim Carrey. They're trying to, he just got plastic surgery. This doesn't look like plastic surgery. This looks like something completely different. This does not look like Jim Carrey. Right? He looks shorter, right? All these different things that lined up didn't sound the same, right? All these different things that line up. You had all the confusion coming out about it, right? Multiple people coming out saying, oh yeah, well, I was Jim Carrey, you know, I played Jim Carrey at this thing, you know, and it wasn't supposed to get this, you know, like, but why hasn't Jim Carrey said anything about this yet? That's the only thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the things I'm worried about, right? Like, Jim Carrey himself, we have not heard him speak on this topic since it all happened. And yet, you know, somehow, some way, we're supposed to just believe that that guy who showed up there was Jim Carrey. All right. And then you have like Alex Jones. All right. He's another one. I think Alex Jones was killed sometime in the last 5 years because this new guy that they're pushing as Alex Jones. All right. This blue-eyed guy that they're pushing as Alex Jones, when Alex Jones, for all of his career, from what I remember, he had brown eyes. Brown eyes. He had the short hair. He had the scruffy beard that wraps around the chin. Right. The chin strap beard type situation going on if he wasn't bald, right? You know, if he didn't fully shave his face, right? He always had that look. But now he has like a goatee, right? Perfectly shaved goatee, blue eyes or green eyes, some crazy ass shit like that. He does not look the same. He sounds like somebody doing an impression of Alex Jones. So this is what I'm saying, right? You have these different things that happen, okay? And we're supposed to sit here and act like these things are not happening in front of us, right? So, like I say, right? Josh Hokett, the guy that made the Michelle is a Man joke. His last name, I believe it's his last name. Let me look it up right now. We're doing it live, baby. We're doing it live. All this is live right now. Okay, we got Josh Hokett. Okay? Now, Josh Hokett equals 47. Like Trump equals 47, explains why he was at the White House. So if anybody's asking, if you're asking, why were these specific people chosen to be on the White House card? There were people that deserved it way more. They deserved it way more. Why weren't there more chances? It's because it has to line up with their rituals. That's why. It has to line up with their numbers. All right. So you got Josh Hokett, like I said, equals 47 in the reverse reduction. All right. It's also like 7722, I believe. Is the Emerson code for his full name. Okay. Hokett equals the nines. All right. Master completion, right? 9999. These things aren't coincidences, people. They're not coincidences. You go down the line. Either one of these things is going to happen. The person has the master completion number, the guy that won. All right. They match up with the date numerology. All right. Or they match up with the month, year, the president's name, etc., etc. They have all these different aspects about them that align numerically with the rituals that they are attempting to do. Not attempting, they're just pulling it off right in front of us, and we just don't, like, most people are just like looking straight over it, looking straight past it. All right. And I understand. Okay. We all have lives to live. Right? You're trying to make money to support yourself, support your family. All right. You're trying to help out your community. You don't have time all the time to look into these numbers. But once you start seeing them, it's impossible to stop noticing. Okay. Absolutely impossible. All right. So, and like I said, that's just another example. And then, of course, one of the things I forgot to bring up. All right. You got Tay Keith. He died directly after the NBA Finals at the age of 29. Brandon Clark died before the NBA Finals at the age of 29. Brandon Clark was, he was a player on the Memphis Grizzlies, okay? Both of these guys died at the age of 29. The Knicks complete the largest comeback in NBA history during these finals, which was coming back from 29 points. The largest comeback in NBA history, and it aligns perfectly with the guys that died before it and after it, because these are blood sacrifice rituals that we are watching and witnessing before our eyes. All right. We're watching scripted entertainment. Okay. It's scripted. It's rigged. All right. One, for the sports books, of course, but also because it has to align with their code. It has to. They don't do things that don't align with their code. And this is not just every now and then. This isn't just every once in a while. This is every single day. We get news by the numbers, sports by the numbers, politics by the numbers. Zach Hubbard, he's one of the guys that turned me on to this specific fact. All right. Because I didn't watch the first presidential the original presidential election that Trump was in, right? The when they were, doing the selections, when it was like 30 Republicans on stage and Trump was one of them, right?
Skylar gets a little jealous,
got shown
especially
for the first
from
time
like
on
the
this,
men who send me
on the
money.
stage.
I'll like
They
use that
introduced
money to
him
get him
not
gifts sometimes,
as a
but
billionaire,
he does think it's a little
philanthropist,
weird, and
et
I think
cetera.
he gets
They
a little
introduced him
insecure
as
sometimes.
the 133rd richest man. Why is that? Why would they choose that specific? According to Forbes, they said he was the 133rd richest man in the world at the time. Why would they choose that specific number? Why? Why would they choose that specific number to explain or to tell you? You could have just said he's a billionaire, right? You could have just said he's one of the richest men in the world, right? You could have just said, right, like he's a real estate investor turned entertainer turned whatever, all right? So many different paths, but they chose that 133. Okay, they chose that 133 and they chose it for a reason. Okay, now they say the Jesuits run the society. Okay, or the Society of Jesus runs the runs the world. The thing is, I'm not completely sure about the truthfulness of that, or the truthful nature of that accusation. Just because I don't believe it's going to be anything as simple as, it's people sitting in a boardroom, okay? It's people sitting in a boardroom coming up with all this shit. It's far too perfect, okay, for it to be that simple. Okay, so when people ask me, okay, well, if you believe all this stuff is scripted and rigged, so you think people are just sitting up, a bunch of dark figures sitting in a room, going and writing all these scripts and things like that? No, I think some of the shit, absolutely, right? Like, you got to come up with narratives and storylines and things like that, absolutely, okay? But the things that happen and how they happen and how perfectly they are synchronized with, with each other throughout history. Okay, this isn't something that just, popped up in these last couple of decades. This has been happening all throughout history. Everything is coded, okay? And it mostly can be seen after the Jesuits switched the calendar from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, okay? Once that switch was made, okay, you start to see all these things happening far more frequently. Okay, so that is, I kind of want to make this is going to be part one of a longer series that I do on these kinds of things. All right, I want to end this video off by letting you guys know this. All right, because I don't want to get too deep into the weeds here, and of course this is pretty much my first video that's specifically like this. All right, done things like this before where I talked about gematria, like in the Tyler Robinson and Charlie Kirk situation, how their names matched up in gematria. So it was just funny how Tyler Robinson was the guy that killed Charlie Kirk, and then their names match up, just like one of the more recent things that we've seen, Dalton Etherly, the Chud the Builder guy, shoots fucking Joshua Fox. Both of their names, like I said, 61 is big. Both of their names equal 61. Okay, these things are not coincidences. We live on a stage. Okay, we live on a stage, and one of the more dangerous things that you can do once you find out that you live on this stage is trying to decode your own life, trying to live your life by these numbers. Saying things like, oh, well, this day is bad for this. Maybe I shouldn't do this on this day. My Emerson code equals this, so I'm probably going to die on this day. Or, this number matches up with this number equals murder. Oh, I'm probably going to die. Like, no, don't do that. Do not fall into that trap. It's very easy to fall into that trap, because once you look at it, you're like, hold on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, even me, right? I started to fall into it a little bit, okay? But then I had to pull myself out. Thank goodness the good Lord pulled me out of it and was like, hey, don't get too deep. Don't go too deep, okay? Because I was even like, damn, what's the odds that my actual name, all right, What are the odds that my first name, my middle name, they equal 5544? I find this out in 2026, which equals 5544. I find it out in the month of June, which equals 5544, right? While the finals are going on and all this, San Antonio 554. Like I'm doing this, right? And Jesus himself had to pull me out of it. Like, hey, calm down. Okay, chill out. All right. Calm down. All right. That's not what this means. All right. Once you start doing that, you're giving them permission. Okay. Let me explain to you something. All right. Why is it that the serpent, when he pulled up into the garden, all right, why is it that he didn't force Eve to eat the apple? It might have actually been easier if he would have just forced Eve to eat the apple. All right. I'm going to tell you why he didn't do it. Okay. Because if he forced Eve to eat the apple, Eve would not have sinned. It would not have been a sin on Eve. It all would have been on the serpent. Okay. If Adam was forced to eat the apple, it would not have been a sin. Okay. Because it was forced. It was not of their free will. Okay. What the serpent did, the serpent inserted doubt into the mind of Eve, which Eve then transferred over to Adam, right? The serpent implanted doubt. The serpent convinced Eve that, eating from the tree of knowledge was going to be what was best for them. That God was trying to play, basically ruler over their lives, and that they should be able to do whatever they want, right? So go ahead, eat from the fruit of knowledge, right? Eat from the tree of knowledge. Okay? They do this, they sin, they get cast from the garden. Okay? This is how the devil operates. Okay? This is where predictive programming and such comes from. All right? The devil is going to show you what he's going to do. He will tell you what he is going to do. One of my favorite things now when I'm talking to anybody about this is the gambling situation at the beginning of the NBA season this year. Okay. Before the season even starts, or a couple days after the season starts, or during the preseason, something around this time. Okay. News breaks that there's a gambling ring going on in the NBA, that these guys are connected to the mafia, right? They have, illegal poker games going on. Players are betting on themselves to go under, faking injuries, things like that. They explained all of it. They told us everything at the beginning of the season. Okay. Now, we seen a couple of people get arrested. Okay. We seen a couple of people, a couple of faces, mostly black faces. Okay. They told us that, they were connected to the mob. All right, the Italian mob, La Cosa Nostra, right? They told us they were connected to the mob. I ain't seen not one Italian. I ain't seen not one. I ain't seen not one white person walking out of an NBA arena in cuffs. None of it. Black men at the face of at the forefront of it. Okay, which we'll get into why black men are chosen for this for these types of things later on down the line. But at the beginning of the season, they told you, this shit is rigged. Like, they told you straight up, players are going to sit out, okay, when they don't need to. Players are going to fake injuries. People are betting on themselves in the NBA to go under. It's happening. That is something that is genuinely going on. So if you decide to, gamble or sports bet, you can't blame us. Okay, because we already have told you that this is what we're going to do. Okay, this is what we're doing. This is what we're going to do. All right. And the funniest thing about it is that none of these people got like actual consequences, right? None of the people that got caught got actual consequences. It feels like the whole thing just fizzled out throughout the season. All right. Really in the first month of the season, just fizzled out. All right. Nobody was really talking about it anymore. It was just something that they did at the beginning of the season to let you know, hey, this shit's rigged. Just letting you know, just throwing it out there. And they do this all the time in our TV shows, right? They'll say, oh, The Simpsons, it predict the future. No, that is not what happened. Okay. What happened is they told you what they're going to do in The Simpsons. They showed you how they were going to do it in The Simpsons and other shows, movies, etc. Okay. Right. They showed you and they told you how it was going to do it. So then when it happened in real life, instead of being like, that's a little too perfect. It's a little too scripted, right? The first thing you think is, oh, the script, or the, you know, the whoever writes the, you know, the show for The Simpsons, he must be like a future teller, right? He must be like a fortune teller or something like that, because how do they just know it? It's just so perfect. It's because they know what rituals they're going to do. They know when these rituals will be conducted. They know who the president is going to be before we know who the electors, you know, and the nominees are. Right? They know before they show us all 50 of the nominees, they know the 2 people who are going to be running in the race at the end. They already knew it. Matter of fact, they knew 30 years ago who it was going to be. Okay? Why do I believe? Because it works too perfectly. It all works too perfectly. It's all too synchronized. Okay? So, as I was saying, this is how they do it. Okay? They will tell you what they're about to do. They will convince you that, you know what I'm saying, you know, they know what's best, okay? They will convince you that, you know, oh, we got all the experts on hand, right? They will convince you of all this stuff, and they will have you living your life according to how they want you to live your life, okay? So that's the danger of falling into decoding your own life and all this, that, and the other, attaching your name to astrological means, or your astrological means, right? Like, oh, I'm a Pisces, I'm gonna act like this. I'm an Aries, I'm gonna act like this. You know, all that gay shit, right? The reason why you don't want to do that is because you're giving permission. You're opening your soul to the idea that the enemy is able to control you. All right, that's how I wanted to end the video off today. Okay, I believe in the divinity of Jesus Christ. Okay, maybe I'll talk about why. It's not because, you know, I'm just a Bible thumping idiot that grew up, you know what I'm saying, in like a Christian household, and, you know, I just never questioned it. No, okay, my parents, they were Christians. Like, my mom was a Christian when I was a kid. My dad, he played Christian, and then he kind of moved into the more satanic, universal, you know what I'm saying, that whole kind of thing. All right. And that was young in my life. Okay. Like, this was young in my life. So all throughout my life, my dad told me, find your God and pray to your God. And the problem with that is, when you tell a kid to find their own God, they're most likely going to start to worship themselves. Okay, or false idols, right? Things like that, right? So don't tell me, okay, that, you know, it's just because, oh, you know, you're just a Bible thumper or whatever. I've done the research, nigga. Jesus is king, all right? Like, his name is the most powerful thing that you can speak on this planet, all right? That is my message for you guys today, okay? Use the numbers, use the codes, all right? Start looking into it. Start seeing, oh, damn, 81 here, 81 there, 27 here, 29 there. You can do it because you'll see it. You're going to start to see it now, okay? Because it's too perfect. And they have to run the script like this, okay? They can't switch it up. This is the code. This is how they have to live. And this is where the idea of the simulation theory comes from, okay? It comes from the fact that our life is coded by numbers, okay? That our souls are coded by numbers, okay? That we live in a hierarchy of families, okay? Not exactly sure what the hierarchy is, what the pecking order is, etc., okay? But we live in that hierarchy of these 9 families, the high 9, or the master 9, the low order 8, the high order 8, low order 7, high order 7, right? All these things, which you know, I'll be explaining further in my future videos. But we all, you know, live in these different families, okay? And this stuff is real. It's all here. It's all perfect. It's all too perfect, all too synchronized, okay? So don't fall into the trap of decoding your own life. Find the divinity, okay? I should say, find refuge in Jesus, okay? Because he's the only one. All right. As far as I can tell so far in my 26, 27 years of life. OK, as far as I can tell, Jesus is the only one that has true authority over this domain. All right. So let me know if this resonated with you guys down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to hear some more. And this has been your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
To what we do
Normally. Oh, God!
Red went straight to the head. A Red Velvet. Oh, my God. Nice was going to the finals. Just look at her, Ricky Bonnie. Red Velvet, very good friend of mine. I'm just talking about what I see.
That Casadora again. Looking for the Bulldog this time. Got it!
The legs there.
And look at this roll through. Double stop. Here from Aminata. Oh! Play it, Tigre.
I didn't know it.
I'm deep into TikTok, man. I'm deep into TikTok scrolling. Like, I've been single for 2 years plus. Does it ever get to the point for anybody else where you've been celibate for that long, it's like your mission to stay celibate? I have been fucking celibate for God knows how long. I broke my celibacy on holiday. And I don't even care if I come across as a hoe anymore. Guys, I've actually figured out why I'm single. Hungover, horny, and single. Hand up to God. One more failed talking stage. One more man pisses me off. I'm officially wife material. This is my first Saturday in. Literally nobody should try and get to know me because I'll have one conversation with you and get bored. At what age do we decide it's time to settle down and stop getting so fucked and off the rails when summer approaches? I will develop an intense crush on somebody for about 3 months and then all of a sudden stop giving a fuck. I just put my fucking phone in the mirror and went into doggy position to see what it'd look like if somebody was hitting it. I'm in bed on a Sunday, hungover. I'm not even going out and trying to find a fucking boyfriend anymore. I'm just going out and getting drunk with my mates.
I don't even know what to say, guys. It's clear she's not wife material, she's not girlfriend material. And any man that sees her and says, oh my God, she's so hot, I want her to be my girlfriend or my wife, my guy, you have a problem in the head.
Out for a date and a man is drinking his drink through a straw, which, okay, I'll allow it. But then he starts like twiddling the straw in his fucking mouth, chewing on the straw. Ugh! It's the biggest ick ever.
I have to agree with that. I always get annoyed when I go somewhere and I ask for a soda in a glass and they give me a straw. I always tell them, I'm not a woman, I don't like sucking.
As a man, respect yourself. If you double message me, triple message me, and I haven't replied, and then you proceed to send me another message, whether that's the same day, days later, what makes you think I'm going to reply to that message? Do you ever just give a man a chance? Like, you give a man a chance finally after fucking moving on from the last one or years of being single, and they just fucking remind you exactly why you.
Why do you swear so much, ma'am? Do you actually believe that men are attracted to women that swear like that? Do you actually believe that it's very feminine to swear like that? No, it's not, ma'am. That's why you're still single. That's why you can't find a man.
You don't give men a chance.
You'll never find another girl like me ever again. There's no one else like me. Oh my God.
I don't know if anybody else does this, but whenever I see a couple arguing in public, I wait a few minutes and then I walk by the girl and I go, you are so gorgeous, just so that man can think about what he's done.
He didn't like blowjobs until he started giving
I did not like them. I just didn't think I needed one a day.
Question, is it absolute chaos to text every guy you've ever slept with on Father's Day and go, Happy Father's Day, Daddy?
Young men are being told that they're worthless, and that benefits the manosphere. The problem is that they believe it. Boys are being told that they're not enough, and then they're sold a solution. That is marketing 101, right? That is the easiest way to trap someone into buying what you're trying to sell.
First of all, ma'am, I'm not selling anything. I would never make a course because I think those don't work. If you're looking for an easy solution like 5 steps to get a woman, do this and you will get a wife. Those kinds of guys are just trying to get your money, guys. That doesn't work. What works for me may not work for you. And if you're a good-looking chat, you may not even have to do anything and you will still get women. So it depends from guy to guy. So if you ever see a video, do these 5 things, or dress this way, or do this stuff and you'll get a woman, that doesn't work. So I will never try to sell you anything like that, guys. That's why I don't do videos like that.
This is how you know who you should trust when it comes to the storytelling of 2 people that broke up. The one that gets hotter is the one that was hurt the most. The one that gets hotter was the one that got fucked over.
So if a woman is an abuser in that relationship, is toxic, and she leaves the relationship and she gets hotter because she puts on more makeup or gets some plastic surgery, that means that she was the victim, right? That's their logic, guys. No logic. We're just going to skip this video because it's very stupid.
Being single at 29 is so fun. You're just a lot more confident at this age. And at any given moment, you could meet the person that you're gonna marry. Going to a country concert tonight, I'm like, he could be there. I don't know.
I really used to think that communication was everything until I found out that you can say a bunch of things to someone, but if one person isn't understanding it, then it's just noise. That person will never understand you.
So why do you keep making TikTok videos, ma'am? Because for the majority of people, whatever you say is just noise, ma'am. It's not important.
What was the kind of toxic man that you were falling for?
Showering you in love, make you feel very wanted, and then disappear.
Andrea had...
No, ma'am. First they sleep with you and then they disappear. Don't forget that step, ma'am.
So many boys interested in her, and the only ones she'd be interested in were the ones who didn't want her back.
Women leave when you live a boring life. Women stay when you have a life that's interesting and exciting to be a part of.
Ma'am, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. The majority of people on this planet live a boring life.
Meaning you have interesting hobbies, you like to try new things, you surround yourself with interesting people. When women are considering a relationship with you, they're looking at what your life looks like now and whether or not it would add value to hers. So
yes, ma'am, but the Chad that is very interesting and has a lot of hobbies and has a lot of interesting friends and does a lot of interesting things. Those guys are the ones that you can't have a stable relationship with. You want the boring guy that does every day the same thing. The boring guy won't cheat on you, ma'am. The boring guy won't leave you to go with his friends to do something interesting. This is what women don't understand. And even her, she has a podcast and she still gives bad advice.
The real sad aspect that you're going to have to accept is that if someone is single at a certain age, there's a fucking reason.
True. Just think about it, guys. She's very hot. She's over 30 and single. Why? There is a reason.
Okay, it's pretty sad, but it's true. You're looking at intimacy phobia. You're looking at people who have been so damaged in childhood that they can't be authentic. I mean, you're looking